Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog. Last time, we finished making our way through the slightly hero path here in the game. So, with our pathway complete, we're ready to move on to our next path. But this one's gonna be a little more complicated than normal, which is saying a lot because things got pretty complicated after we finished the neutral path. So, the next pathway we're going to be tackling is a pathway where we have to play through a total of 3 levels we already completed just to get to the next level in the chain. Today we're going to be starting the Pure Dark path. In order for us to get to our next level we need to play, we have to play through Westopolis and beat that level via the Dark mission. Then we play through Digital Circuit and beat that level via the Dark mission. And lastly, we go back through Cryptic Castle and beat that level in its Dark mission. Then from there, we'll be led to our next level in the chain and truly be on the Pure Dark pathway. So let's jump into the game and make our way into the Pure Dark path.
Who am I? I need to find the answer to that myself. The only clues I have are the mystical Chaos Emeralds. I have to find them. In order to protect the Doctor for my own reasons, I helped activate his castle's defense system. There was a showdown between me and one of the Doctor's giant robots. I defeated it and took the 4th Chaos Emerald. There are 3 more to go. Sorry, Doctor, but I can't waste any more time.
Mr. President, there's an emergency.
What now?
It seems as if our ground forces have been able to contain the Black Arms. But apparently enemy reinforcements have arrived, and Central City is being invaded.
How? How can this be?
You let your guard down for even 1 moment, and the entire enemy force is ready to invade our first stage here in the Pure Dark pathway, Central City.
Shadow, let me share with you a piece of your past. It's filled with nothing but hatred and contempt for the humans.
Hatred and contempt for the humans.
You were the ultimate life form, but the humans feared you and wanted to destroy you. And they did. Now, you must amass revenge on those humans. Unleash your anger and ultimate powers on them. Shadow, we have set a bomb that will annihilate the city. Trigger it, and the city will be destroyed. Detonate this bomb. With your own hand.
Hey, it's Shadow! Good timing. Black creatures have huge bombs that they're trying to set off here in the city. We only have a few minutes before the bombs detonate and destroy the city. You gotta help us.
I'm not really inclined to help you right now, Knuckles. I'm sorry, but I want to continue on the Pure Dark path here, and to do that, we need to help out Black Doom detonate all 5 of these large bombs here throughout Central City. And we only have a few minutes here on the clock, 8 minutes in total. So we gotta find these bombs and blow them up before time runs out, because once the time runs out, then mission is failed. Although it is kind of a funny way of failing it for the Dark mission here specifically, because when the timer hits 0, the city is destroyed from all these little bombs scattered all throughout the level that Knuckles wants us to go around and deactivate. But if we fail the Dark mission here, that means that we're letting these said bombs detonate anyways, and the city will be destroyed. But by not detonating the big bombs, we're failing the mission even though we are destroying Central City. So in some ways, we are still completing our mission because we're letting the city get destroyed, but we're also not destroying it the right way. I don't know. It's so confusing when you really think about it. We fail, but also don't fail our mission at the same time if we don't hurry up and complete this said objective here in that short amount of time that we have. But we're already basically done with the mission. We have one more bomb left to detonate, and thankfully for our sake, it's not that far away. Taking very specific paths here, you'll find the bombs that you need to go ahead and destroy and detonate on your own. So, not really that hard to find these 5 large bombs. If we come up here with a spin dash, we'll get ourselves an extra life, so it's always nice to get an extra life here. Now let's go ahead, take this rocket, fall down below here, and we got ourselves our final bomb. So, jumping up to this platform, destroying the robots around it, we can go ahead and detonate the final bomb, dooming Central City.
At last, revenge.
We did it. We blew up all the big bombs, and now Central City is ruined.
Perfect.
Alright, we're jumping back into Central City. This time, we're going to be helping out Knuckles and completing the hero mission here. And it's our only other mission available here in this said level. Now, if Knuckles stops jumping around, we can go ahead and join with him and learn that we need to go ahead and deactivate 20 bombs, which sounds like that's going to be pretty difficult because we only have 20 bombs we got to destroy before we fail this said mission. But thankfully, there are more than 20 bombs around Central City. So you do have a little bit of lenience here, but there are certain bombs that you're going to be trying to destroy and you just won't be able to, and we'll go more into that once we find them. But in order to deactivate these said bombs without having them blow up in your face, you need one of the black aliens' vacuum guns here. So the weapon I'm holding here is a vacuum gun. It can suck up enemies when you hold the B button, and you can shoot those enemies back out at someone else to do some damage like a normal gun projectile. But this is a very different weapon, and it's different from the egg vac that we were using as a reward for completing the neutral pathway. So it's similar, but also has its own unique gimmick to it. So it is a very, very different weapon. We got a bomb up here we just cannot reach, so we're going to be leaving it alone. But it is possible to get the bomb from jumping off of one of the aliens. It's not always possible to get every single bomb here, so thankfully, again, there is some lenience here when it comes to these said bombs you need to deactivate. And notice the wording I'm saying here. Knuckles is saying destroy the bombs, but you don't want to actually destroy bombs with ammo from other guns, because the bombs will still detonate and do damage to the surrounding area, and it will not count towards your actual mission here. So when a bomb goes off and you do not get it sucked up, it will not count towards your total. This is why you need only the vacuum gun here, as this is the only thing that's actually going to be effective. But be careful when using the vacuum gun, because it is easy to suck up pretty much anything in the surrounding area. Any small enemies, boxes, you name it. And you have to be very careful not to suck up your allies, because it is very easy to do that just because they'll be off camera and you just try to suck up a bomb that could be nearby, and instead, now you're getting one of the gun soldiers in your vacuum instead. So just be careful of your surroundings here. Don't always hold down the B button for your vacuum gun. Just play it safe and cautious. And even though you do have 8 minutes on the clock, which isn't really that much time, it should be enough time for you to find all these said bombs. So just be very cautious on the stage. Don't rush it too much. Even though the timer does look like it could be a big problem here, you don't want to rush things on a stage like this, because if you do, you're going to start making a lot more mistakes, which is going to make the mission a lot harder. And don't feel bad if you failed this mission, because you can always try it again with that knowledge you have from a previous attempt to actually succeed the next time you play. So this is definitely a trial and error mission at the very end of the day, and you have to be very, very observant here in Central City to find all the little bombs. But we're gonna have a little bit of a problem here, as we need to kill these Black Arm aliens to open up a container that houses a spring so we can get to a bomb up on a platform. But it's very easy, as you see, to destroy that said platform the bomb is on. It's also very easy to get a good aim on this said alien in front of you and just not be able to hit the thing at all. Luckily for our sake, this vacuum gun has some pretty good range, so even though we couldn't stand on the platform anymore and the bomb just kind of floats, we were able to still get that said bomb without really worrying too much about the said bomb in question blowing up. Like this one. There are just some bombs here that are bound to always detonate, and there's nothing you can do about that. There are just some bombs you just flat out cannot suck up here with your vacuum gun, and that is technically scripted, so there's nothing that you're able to do to influence this. But I'm going to swap out my gun now to the egg vacuum we got from the neutral pathway, because this works basically the same for the said mission, and it's even better to use if you have it. But it's basically at the end of the level, because this is our final bomb sucked up, completing the hero mission.
Such a cowardly attempt to take the city. Unbelievable.
We did it! We disarmed all the bombs here in Central City. I hope.
Perfect.
Alright, let's head back into Central City one final time to grab ourselves those 5 secret keys and see what lies behind the secret door. So, first things first, here in the very beginning, this key, honestly, is probably one of the most creative keys I have seen thus far here throughout our journey inside of Shadow the Hedgehog. But it's right here in the very beginning, right next to our first big bomb here for the neutral mission, and also where the first checkpoint is located. So, once we go up this said platform to where Knuckles is located, and we got this comical looking anvil just kind of chilling here in the middle of this said rooftop. Want to ride up top the said anvil, and right here where Black Doom is located, you want to actually zoom out the camera because there's a helicopter in this section. You want to grab the bottom of the helicopter here, and this will take you to a top halfway that has a cage here being guarded by 2 aliens. Kill both of these aliens, and you get yourself your first key. Honestly, a pretty creative way of hiding the said key, because you hear the helicopter in the background of the stage, and if you're not paying attention, you may think that is just a background object, but it is actually something you can interact with, which leads you to a secret. Speaking of secrets, our next key here, we're gonna want to actually gain more dark energy to get it, because it's right here next to the second bomb. So we're gonna be killing all of these gun soldiers mechs, because this will fill up our dark gauge so we can use Chaos Blast. And right now it doesn't look like much, but over on our right, if we go a little further ahead, we can see now we got all these unbreakable substances from the Black Arms that we can only destroy using Chaos Blast. Doing so will reveal yourself another key. There's no other way you're getting that key without Chaos Blast, so farm yourself that Chaos energy. And while we have that energy, we might as well take advantage of that invincibility to run across all of this slime and get through this section as fast as possible, making our way to the 4th checkpoint. Here we got ourselves a turret, and we need to kill the aliens in the distance here, and this is kind of a hard part because trying to take out these Blackhawks, not the easiest thing to do. In fact, if you want an easier time, maybe go up to where the Blackhawks are located and use a gun instead of using the turret. But on these top rafters, on the right side specifically, this is where you have your 3rd key. Now with the 3rd key collected, let's take this rocket, head up above here, and now we want to make our way over to where the final giant bomb is located. But this time around, we're going to take the bottom path, unlike how we played this out in the Dark mission, because down here, we got ourselves a turret, and we can use this turret to take out the gun robots here next to where this big bomb is located. And you want to take out these robots to unlock the giant bomb, And that's not specifically for blowing up the bomb, although if you're going for the dark mission, you definitely want to open up the cage so you can actually destroy your set objective. But you want to destroy those gun robots because if you turn the camera here, there is a secret cage just in the back here holding a secret key. It's very easy to miss this said cage. So now we got ourselves our 4th key. I'm gonna grab myself a bazooka because we'll be using this for our final key here, which is further into the level than we ever seen, around where the 6th checkpoint is located. Using a bazooka, we want to destroy this wall here on our left, which reveals our final secret key. And while we're here in this new section of Central City, we can go further down this pathway here, and we can see that this does actually loop. So now we're back over to where the 3rd key was located. So at this point, we just do an infinite loop until we destroy all the bombs here in Central City for either the dark side or the hero side. But now we want to go back to checkpoint number 3, and from here, we just go a little further ahead, just get through this tunnel section, and this is where our secret door will be located, just right in front of us here. So, being careful not to die from just standing into all this alien slime, we got ourselves behind the secret door an air saucer, which is interesting because it is a helpful reward in this area if you can get the keys for repeat playthroughs, since now you don't have to worry about using other vehicles to get through this section. But you can also use other vehicles to get through this section. So this is useful, but also not. Doubly so if you have chaos energy built up for either your hero gauge or your dark gauge, and you can get the invincibility from that said chaos energy. So the air saucer is helpful, but only in very specific situations. So this is a secret that you could probably skip if you weren't wanting to go out of your way to get all these secret keys, unlike me. But that is it for Central City. We got ourselves those secret keys, we completed the hero and the dark missions, and we are done. As a reminder, going forward, we do not have a 3rd mission for any of the levels that we'll be playing going forward. So at this point, we're ready to move on to our next stage here in the Pure Dark pathway. And notice this pathway doesn't have that many levels for us because this was our first level here with Central City, and we only have 2 more levels before we're at the very end of this pathway. So there's not going to be too much here for the Pure Dark pathway, which is a change of pace compared to all the other paths we've explored so far, but there was a lot of work to get here. And we'll continue that said work going forward into the Pure Dark pathway in the next episode. Next time on Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog, we'll continue down the Pure Dark pathway. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.